Welcome to this week's edition of the OCU Athletics Update. I'm Andrew Himes, and this week we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week Allison Worsham and rowing coach Mike Knopp.
Allison Worsham was named the Sooner Athletic Conference Offensive Player of the Week after scoring 4 goals in the John Brown Classic over the weekend. She had a hat trick against Grace and the game-winning goal against Bellevue. She is tied for the team lead in goals with 5, and she is our Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week. And Allison, you scored 4 goals over the weekend at the John Brown Classic. What was that performance like?
I did. Well, it was actually, I played with, I work really well up top with Megan McMahon, and I obviously couldn't have scored half of those goals without her because she assisted a couple of them to me. But it was definitely a great weekend for women's soccer.
You were named the Offensive Player of the Week this week. What does that mean to you to have that honor?
Well, I actually just woke up this morning and Coach Martin called me. And so it was a nice little surprise to wake up to, and he told me that I was going to be doing this interview, so great way to start the day.
You had a hat trick against Grace over the weekend. What was it like being able to achieve that plateau?
Well, like I said, I couldn't have done it without Megan up there with me, and it was just, working hard, and it paid off. So.
You played for former OCU All-American Stuart Hilton at Deer Creek High School. What was that like?
Stuart was probably one of my favorite all-time coaches, and I only got to play for him for a couple years, but he ended up leading us to a state title, and he's a great coach.
What's your major here at OCU?
It is biology right now, currently.
So what are your career goals after college?
My ultimate goal would to be an orthodontist, and so I'm just, going through the biology route right now, taking all the chemistry courses and all that, and hopefully eventually end up going to dental school.
Can you share something about yourself that people may not necessarily know?
Let's see. Before I became a soccer player, I was thinking I was going to be a gymnast. And so I like to tumble. I'm a good tumbler, and so I guess that's, if someone looked at me, they wouldn't know that I could tumble.
All right, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Allison Worsham. You can catch the Stars in action at 5 o'clock on Tuesday at Stars Field.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to rowing coach Mike Knopp. The Stars will compete at the head of the Oklahoma Regatta on October 5th through the 6th. And first of all, Coach, tell us about your back-to-school tradition, the oar run.
Well, it's something I started when we first began a rowing program, even at a club level here at OCU back in the year 2000. And we thought it was really symbolic of starting the year off and it really taking the oars to the river. And so, it's kind of it's a great way to kind of bring the team together, get excited about the year in front of us, and also give our athletes who many of whom are new to Oklahoma City a chance to really understand the city that we represent. We're Oklahoma City's university, and to have an understanding about the people that really you can get through a tour of the Oklahoma City National Memorial. We always make a stop there, and it really gives some good perspective on the city and the community, and it's a great thing to kick the year off.
Going back to last season, you guys finished off at the Dadvale Regatta, finishing 8th in the team standings. Also some great individual performances as well. Tell us about those.
Well, actually, we finished 6th in the team standings, and it was just another great milestone for us because the Dadvale is kind of considered a national championship for us, and it's some of the top teams in the country are there, and we helped really kind of launch the sculling element of that event. I mean, they started the sculling, but and with our leadership role in intercollegiate sculling at a varsity level, I think to be able to take first place again in the single in both the men and the women's side, with Liz Matthews on the women's side, Edgar's Boitmanis on the men's side, I think is a great testament that every year we've won those events, and so to be the champions, the gold medalists in the singles event, I think is really exciting. But then also had all the other success. We had the most success we've ever had at the Dadvale last year, which is a great sign of what's to come with our team and our program, and really the standings that we are continuing to build in the sport of rowing. I mean, in terms of OCU being a major player in the sport, we took the silver medal in the freshman novice 4 event, which is again a great sign of what's to come with the young athletes in the program. And then the varsity men took third in the 4, and the women took third. So to have that many medalists at a very, very large event is a pretty powerful thing, and for our university and for our program.
Jackson Anderson, Matthew Madama, and Matt Mahon all got to compete at the Under-23 World Championships in Austria in July. Tell us about that, what that means for the program.
Well, again, it's another great milestone for us. We have stated that, again, partly with our sculling program that we've started and our general philosophy with our facilities, with our Devon Boathouse being the high-performance center for U.S. rowing, that we see our program representing high performance and helping advance our athletes beyond just intercollegiate competition, but to a national level. And to have 3 of our athletes represent the United States at the Under-23 Worlds, I think is a great statement about the way that we're helping cultivate young talent for the national team. So very exciting. It was a tremendous experience for those athletes to really put in perspective what it's like to race at the world level.
What events are going to be featured at the head of the Oklahoma Regatta and the Regatta Festival this year?
Well, it's going to be, again, the biggest year ever. Every year I say that, but it grows every year. And what's exciting about this year is we have the actual stadium lights through MAPS 3 that are now up. And so we're not using temporary lights anymore. The only venue in the world to have that, and we really helped innovate the sport by adding night racing to the mix. So that is certainly kind of a marquee component of the head race. So there's the 4,000 meter long races, and then it all culminates in the night sprints. I think a couple of highlights to that. We're going to introduce the men's 8 Cup, which will be named in honor of legendary Harvard coach Harry Parker, who passed away this year. But Harvard's come to our event every year since we began. Really helped define and really legitimize this little regatta in Oklahoma that became such a big national event. And so we thought it was very fitting to honor him through this way in the men's 8 night race. And then we'll also be honoring Bill Schnittman, who is a high performance rower who passed away this year in the men's 4 event with a cup. And so we have some very special features this year with that. And then not to mention all the competition. UMass will be coming with their women's scullers to take on our women's scullers, and they're another great sculling. They focus on sculling like we do to some extent, and so that'll be a great test for our athletes. Clemson, Michigan, again, Harvard's coming back. So we're going to have a lot of great competition throughout the weekend.
Talk about the River Sport Adventure District that recently opened on the Oklahoma River.
Well, it's certainly a new paradigm, for the river, but I think the roots of that really come back to the start of our regatta because we added elements to the river that were that beyond just the sport. At the regatta, there was all kinds of activities that engage the community. So we wanted to do that on a permanent basis with attractions at the river that drive people down there, on families on a daily basis. That's all centered around health, wellness, and fitness, and then also expose the opportunities to get more involved in the sports and the activities there. So we have the world's tallest sky trail, which is an adventure course. The nation's tallest slide is there, so you get a reward when you get to the very top. You get to slide down to the bottom. We have the Rumble Drop through a partnership with the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is a free fall experience. So you jump off an 80-foot platform and free fall into a landing pad, which is pretty exciting, and a youth zone for kids. And so there's really something for everyone, and we're only getting started. We have a zip line that will be in play by next spring that will take you across the river and back. And then it all leads to the Whitewater Center, which will be another incredible MAPS 3 project that will open in the spring of 2015, adding much more adventure. We'll be, really the river around our boathouse will have probably the most concentrated adventure experiences that any city in America has. I mean, in an urban area, to be able to zip line and rock climb and go whitewater rafting, go kayaking, within walking distance of downtown is really exciting. And so I think it's going to do a lot for just providing more exposure for the river.
You're going to be heading off to Copenhagen, Denmark for the World Canoe Championships. What's that event going to be like?
Well, I'm leaving tomorrow, and it's going to be pretty exciting because we're hosting that event next year. Now, of course, we have a canoe-kayak program here at OCU, and our athletes will participate in that World Championship here in Oklahoma City. And so in Copenhagen, we'll be accepting the flag, so they'll transfer the flag, the International Federation flag, from Denmark, or from Copenhagen, Denmark, to Oklahoma City. And we'll get to kind of showcase what we expect Oklahoma City to bring to the mix in a very unique way for that event. We'll have over 30 countries coming here. It's the first time that event has ever been in North America. So really is going to be exciting and a great way for us to showcase our city.
What ingredients go into a championship team?
Well, boy, there's a lot of things. I mean, first of all, you have to obviously have the strength and the competitiveness, but so much more of it is the unity in the team, the way the team gels, especially really in all sports, but our sport in particular, the way that the team, just in moving a boat, you can be the strongest athletes that there are, but if you can't figure out how to work together, not just physically but mentally, and be in sync as a team, that is really an X factor. And we try to create an environment where our athletes buy into that. And so it's high performance on the water, in the classroom, and then really in being mindful of how you interact with your teammates and try to gel. And that's a huge part of it.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Talking to OCU rowing coach Mike Knopp. You won't want to miss the head of the Oklahoma Regatta Festival, October 5th through the 6th on the Oklahoma River.
That's it for this week's edition of the OCU Athletics Update. Check back every week for all the latest in OCU sports.